Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back for everyone's favorite video. How to score higher in Heroes Jubilee Catalyst 4, whatever the hell you want to call it. Jubilee. How to score high in Jubilee. The video that everyone loves, everyone always wants, because you need those 6 strats, man. And I have spent last night grinding the normal stages. I spent this morning grinding the boss battle stages. And as you can see, I'm sitting at a pathetic number 7 on the NA server with 602,000 points. Shout out to Kev, Yuki, Goptagod, Infinity, Shizukana, and Archangel for 1, being sweaty fucking tryhards, and 2, for all being on my friends list. So shout out to all of you guys for being tryhards, for being whales, for being stupid lucky, whatever you would like to call it, and scoring higher than I'm going to attempt to try, because I'm pretty sure I'm cemented in top 0.1%. So I don't feel the need to grind anymore except for the milestone rewards. But that's enough with the intro, except for this always the one add-in that I have to do is that your results based on this video will vary, because as you have seen or have watched, I have a very whaley box. I have many units at level 100. I have 6-star gear for a lot of them. And so if you do not have the team comps or the gear or whatever to exactly pull off what I'm doing character to character, just know that this video is only to give you the strategy, and you have the next couple of days to try and work your way around it. I'm just kind of showing you how I run it, what needs to happen in order for you to get godly RNG, and then you can take that strategy and apply it to your own box. So just keep that in mind. It's not all going to work for everyone. But with that out of the way, let's jump into Normal Battle 1. Alright, Normal Battle 1. This is the team that I used. Orca Disaster, Diablo for the nuke, Milim for the nuke, Soe and Valentine for the skill points. That puts us at 40 skill points to start with because of their traits. We have Dark Milim, Earth Milim, and Gazel for the protection traits, and then we have Wind Milim and Space Rimuru in the back for their ult boosts and attack boosts. So the idea is that you want to kill all 3 sharks on turn 1, kill both sharks on turn 2, and then triple buff Dark Milim on turn 3 with her crit rate, Wind Milim, and Space Rimuru, and then kill that stupid shark on turn 3 with some overkill. So let's see if it wants to work out for me like that today. You always start with 4 blues and 2 oranges on this battle, so using Dark Milim to orb change into a full 6-card send, and then we'll bring in Wind Milim for Soe, since all sharks are weak to magic damage, and then we will have enough points, 15, remember, because we used Valentine and Soe for the additional skill points, so now we have enough to use Diablo's attack boost, and then we can send this around. We'll do that, and then that. Hopefully we kill all 3 right here. If not, we'll just keep going. As long as you understand the strategy. Okay, well, we're not going to do it now. Is this thing going to die? Okay, it died. So we got a little bit unlucky on that last shark. But I'm not going to reset. Just know that on a perfect turn, I would kill all 3 of those in one go, and then we would move on. But this is probably a little better because it shows a more realistic turn, because not everyone has the dupes and such to kill all 3 sharks in one go. So I'm going to continue this and we'll just kind of play with it. So we'll just go ahead and send these blues. We'll get maximum orc, which is fine. Kill the stupid shark. And then next turn, you'd want a handful of greens and oranges. That way you can use the Orca Disaster and have a full 6-card send. Almost like that. Almost like that. I'm pretty sure we can still kill them, though. So let's go ahead and just send it as is. Maybe not. Unless we crit here or something. Oh, no, we do. Okay, cool. So then, finished him on turn 2, or finished turn 2 now. So now we're on turn 3. We have the ult for Diablo. So we'll go ahead and use the orc again. 140 skill points, that's fine. So then we'll bring in Rimuru for Dark Milim. It's not who I want to nuke with. Normally you'd want to nuke with Dark Milim since they're weak to magic, but this will work just fine. So we use the boost and the boost. We don't have enough to use Diablo's skill point again because we used it first, but we can definitely do one Diablo and then the ult. Unless it guards. Okay, this run is terrible. Alright, 26-2. So what point total does that put us at? Probably around like 40k? 41.7. Okay, so not bad. I think my highest is like 45, but that was with perfect RNG. Turn bonus, obviously we're on turn 4. Turn 3 is where you want to be. But that's the general strategy for what you want to do for Battle 1, is you want to kill all 3 sharks. You want to orb change turn 1, buff with Diablo, kill all 3 sharks. Turn 2, you want an entire 6-card hand of oranges using the orc, kill both those sharks. That way on turn 3, you have the ult for your strongest Dark Dealer right there, like Dark Millum, and then you can nuke that shark out of existence. So with that said, let's move on to Battle 2 now. Alright, here is my team for normal stage 2. Orc of Disaster again, Millum and Diablo for the 2 single target ults. We have Phobio in here for the crit resistance down, and also the orb changing. Again, we've got Gazel, Earth Millum, Dark Millum for the protection gauge, Dark Rimuru because we just want to boost up the damage we can even more on Millum. And then we've got Wind Millum in the back, and Beretta for the orb change. So let's go into this battle, and I'll show you guys how this one works. So you start out with a hand of 4 orange and 2 green, which is why Phobio comes in very handy for 2 things, for both skills. So right here we have 4 orange, 2 green, so we'll go ahead and use Phobio to change those. Also, with 9% you can get a full protection meter off of this. And then let's go ahead and bring in Beretta for Phobio. Okay, so here, there are a couple different ways you could do this. You could go with a single target ult and an AoE, so you could use like Dark Millum, and then instead of Diablo, you could use Dark Rimuru, and single target one and AoE the other. Or you could go with the single target strategy. And if you want to do the 2 single targets, you have to kill the middle spider, because the middle spider gives defense to the other ones, which you don't want to happen. The other 2, if you kill one of these 2, they do nerf your attack, and they'll randomly do it on one person, so on the lucky turn that you do this, they are going to debuff the person you don't care about, so Beretta, and they won't touch these 2, but your odds are not really that great. So let's take out this middle one here. See, we have a full protection meter for the orc. Oh, guarded, but it should die anyways. Alright, that's fine. You're still looking to kill on turn 3, so we have one more turn to do some damage to the other 2 spiders. Get them down low. And who do they debuff? Please, Beretta? Oh, no one. Oh, cool. Alright, they didn't do it. Weird. Alright then. So, not the greatest hand in the world, but I think we can work with it. So let's use the orc. Alright. So then we will do this. We'll send these 3. Actually, we'll send the other one on here. There we go. I think they debuff this turn. Alright. So 1, 2, and then 3. So we have ults for everyone, which is cool. Alright, cool. You got decreased, and please do it again. Oh, you did it to Millum. Okay, so turn 2, they debuff. So now we're going to swap out Beretta for Phobio. And then we're going to use his other skill to lower the crit resistance on one of them. And whatever one you do that on is the one you're going to nuke with Dark Millum, since her skill raises her crit rate. So if you manage to hit that 15% crit rate, you will do another 23% extra damage because you've got the crit resistance down. So go ahead and pop that on that one. And then we'll bring in Wind Millum for Phobio. And we'll use that buff. And we only have enough points to use one buff, so let's go ahead and use Dark Millum. That way we can show off what we want to do here. So we're going to go ahead and send these 2, and then these 2, and then you're going to get nuked by Millum and you're going to die from Diablo. That's how it should go. And please don't Kill him. Don't do it. Okay, cool. Alright, so now let's crit this spider. Come on. No crit. No crit, but 15k. And Diablo does 18k. Alright, so that's the double alt strategy right there. And we get 44-9, which is a pretty good score. It would be higher if we crit. It'd be higher if Milim wasn't debuffed. It'd be higher if Diablo was able to use his attack boost as well. But that's the strategy that I use for this second stage. Again, you can go with a single target and an AoE perfectly fine. But let's move on to Battle 3 now. Okay, Battle 3 is where we change up the team by quite a bit. So, it is one enemy, and we're going to use Cabby for the greens. We're using Gazel for the nuke, Dark Milim for the orb change, Valentine for her orb change, and her trait, and Soe's trait. And then we've got Leon and Guy to boost the light damage for Gazel, and to go along with the crit damage and alt boost for Gazel in the event that he does crit. And then we've got Diablo, and I mean, these are self-explanatory. So let's move out. This battle is a 2-2-2 hand, so 2 blues, 2 greens, 2 oranges. That will never change. The only way you can change it is, or the only way that anything is going to change is if you change the order of your units. Doesn't really matter that much. Try and put Gazel in the front, though. So you can see that we have one green, 2 green, 1 blue, 2 blue, 1 orange, 2 orange. So Dark Milim is here to change those oranges into blues. That way we can get a protection meter turn 1. And then we can use Cabby and Valentine to orb change turn 2. And in a perfect turn, we'll get a whole hand of greens, just like that. Alright. So, we'll use Cabby. Boost up these greens. We'll use Valentine to orb change that single blue. And then we'll go ahead and send this. Gazel will get his ult. We'll be at maximum points, which is exactly where I want to be. Alright. Just under half health now. Perfect. Poison doesn't really matter. So now we're going to bring in Leon for Dark Milim. And we're going to bring in Guy for Valentine. Doesn't really matter who you bring in as long as you bring them both in. And now we have enough points to use Gazel's boosts, Guy's boost, and Leon's boost, and we're out of points. But the idea here is that we're boosting up with Gazel, we're boosting the light damage for Gazel, we're boosting the ult damage for Gazel, and in the event that Gazel does crit on the ult, we get that additional part of Guy's skill where you've lowered the crit resistance on the enemy. So right here, I think it's probably best if we send all 3 of the Guy cards and then send the ult. 1, 2, 3, and then Gazel, if he wants to crit, it'll look real nice. And he does not crit, but we do 31-2. Respectable amount of damage right there for a level 100 Gazel. And what's our score? 43-7. So that's how you want to run normal battle 3. Orb change into 4 blues, get the protection meter, get Cabby online turn 2, Valentine to orb changed into an entire hand of green, and that gives you enough points to use all those buffs. So with that done, let's move on to the boss battles. Alright, moving on to the boss battle. Here's the team that I'm using. It's got some interesting picks in there. So we've got Chloe for the obvious reason, Phobio for the crit resistance down, Ranga for the debuff, Alice for her buff and the single target ult, Velzard is our primary damage dealer here, and then Hakuro is in here as an interesting pick as well, because if you get lucky, you can use his big ability to 1, lower the enemy's defense, and 2, give ourselves a chance to crit, which is why we have Velzard in the back, to avoid having that nerf on the crit damage to begin with. So in a perfect world, we can use either Velzard or Phobio's skill on turn 5, and then have 180 points on turn 6, so we can use all of the other buffs, and then nuke Shizu into the ground. So let's see if we can get lucky on this run. and have that work out for us. Alright, so you always start the round with a hand of 4 green and 2 orange. Or 4 green and 2 blue, sorry. So we're going to use Alice's skill right here to change those blues into greens. And then we'll swap out Phobio for Hakuro. That way we can keep Velzard in the back for 1 to see if we can swap her in next turn for a juicy hand, and 2, so she doesn't get debuffed. So let's use Alice, Hakuro, Ranga. We have a full Chloe meter right now, so we can use it next turn if we want to get an entire hand again. Doing some decent damage to Shizu, but again, this is only boss battle 2. So here comes that crit damage nerf, so we don't want that on Velzard. That's unfortunate. That's actually really unfortunate. Okay, so let's just use the Hakuro cards right here. We'll hold on to Chloe. Turn 3, come on. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Alright, so Ranga and Hakuro. So let's go ahead and use Chloe. Alright. And then we will bring in Velzard for Ranga. And then we'll just send the Ranga card, or the Velzard cards now. Okay, is this going to work out for me? No, it's not. Of course it's not. As soon as I want to showcase something, the RNG is just not there. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So, still not really working out the way I want it to, but this is at least a little bit better. So let's go ahead and bring Alice in for Ranga right here. We'll use the orb change again. Not what I want to do, but we can get at least a full card set of greens and make back most of those points. As long as we can get lucky in the next coming up turns, then I think we'll still be okay. Alright, so you want to kill on turn 6. Turn 6 is the kill point for all of the boss battles here. Alright, so what does our hand look like? I didn't actually see it. There's a blue in there, okay. That's... it's not the end of the world right there. So let's use Chloe again. And then we can do this. 50 points right here. As long as we can... yeah, I think we'll actually... we'll be okay. Mostly. Alright. So, the idea here now on turn 5, because Phobio's crit resist down or Velzard's frostbite skill lasts for 2 turns, on turn 5 you want to prep and use one of those skills. So we're going to use Velzard right here. Actually, no, hold on. We're going to take out Alice for Phobio. There we go. And then, you know what? For funsies, we're going to take out Hakuro for Ranga. See if we can pull in that other card. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're going to use Phobio's crit resistance down skill on turn 5, because it'll last for this turn and next turn, which is turn 6, which is the kill turn. So we're going to prep for that. Alright, so now we're going to try and build back up to enough points, so that's 174, so that's 1 point off. Can we do it this way instead? So that is 172, so still not enough points, which is really unfortunate. Okay, I think we can still make this work. I think we can still make it work. So let's go ahead and send these Velzard cards right here. Alright. Because I think we only need 170 right here. Okay, so the crit resistance down is still active. So let's go ahead and use Ranga's debuff now, and Velzard's 2 skills. So the damage and the pierce damage, and then frostbite. And then, okay, yeah, we do have enough points. Cool. Then we'll bring in Alice for Phobio. And then Hakuro for Ranga. So now here, you were going to use the Pierce, and then the defense down and the crit rate by 30%. So what we're looking for right here is we're looking for overkill damage now. So she has 32.5 left. And I have a 5-card send, essentially. But I want to nuke with Velzard to get the most overkill damage towards the end. So I want to get her as close as we can to 1 HP before Velzard hits. So I think right here, we're going to send the Alice and okay, the Alice is, and then Velzard, and we'll see if that works. And hopefully we can get her down, and hopefully Velzard crits. So let's take a look at what happens here. We might do a little bit more damage than we want. Okay, guarding the counter. And okay, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Please crit, Velzard. Please crit. Ah, she crit. All right. That was the perfect turn right there. The perfect turn right there. What's our score? 187. I think that's higher than what I had before. And it was by quite a bit. Quite a bit right there. All right. So, to go back over that strategy, because it is a little convoluted, turn 5, you use Phobio's crit buff or Velzard's frostbite. One of the two, it doesn't matter, as long as you use one of those two cards. So then on turn 6, you have at least 170 skill points, you have the ults boosted by Chloe, and then you can use Ranga's debuff, Alice's buff, Hakuro's debuff, and Velzard's buff. And then you will hit that score right there. You'll crit with Velzard if you get perfect RNG, and you'll get a high score right there. So let's try it again on Boss Battle 3 now. And we are back in Boss Battle 3 now. Same exact team, same exact strategy. I'll just show you this on the slightly more difficult stage, quote unquote. So still, we're running Alice for the orb change on turn 1. We'll bring Hakuro in turn 2 for Phobio. Go ahead and send all of this out. Ranga still does the most damage since she is weak to magic and type advantage. Still pretty good right there. So attacking what we can. The guard is not great, and that's not really that great either. A lot of Ranga cards though. So let's go ahead and bring in Velzard for Ranga now. We'll use Chloe's or Alice's orb change again, but then we can also use Chloe herself. Get an entire hand of greens, and a pretty good hand for Velzard to start out with. Almost have her ult, 105 points. We're looking okay. Only on turn 2 so far. And 2,800, cool. That's okay damage right there. That hand's not the greatest, but it is what it is. We can go ahead and burn these I guess we can burn these 3 Hakuro cards. Get him closer to an ult. Hopefully next turn we can just pull in a whole bunch of oranges and greens and use Chloe again. On turn 3 now, so we don't have to do anything specific currently. Perfect. Perfect turn 4 right here. No blues whatsoever. So we can go ahead and use Chloe. We can get ults for, I think, everyone. Well, except Hakuro, because he has no cards. But that's okay, because I really only care about Alice and Velzard right here. Maximum points at 180, so looking very good. So we're coming up on turn 5. Again, turn 5 is where you want to use one of the debuffs right here. And what's the hand look like right here? Bunch of oranges and blues. So let's go ahead and bring in Phobio for Alice. Right? No, let's bring in Phobio for Velzard. She only has the 1 card. Alright. So let's use his debuff right here. So we've got that active for 2 turns now, and we need 170 points, which we're easily going to get right here. 14 points. 179, we're 1 point away from maximum, does not matter. Alright. So we're looking good now. We're looking very, very good. So we've already used Phobio's debuff, so you are no longer important. Let's go ahead and bring Ranga in for his debuff right here. And then we'll go ahead and take Ranga out for Velzard. And then we can use all the buffs. So the debuff, buff, frostbite, buff. Okay, so what's our hand look like now? Looking at a couple greens and then some alts. So let's go ahead and... How much health do you have now? 66k? I think we're pretty safe in sending all of this. And then Velzard will clean up at the very end. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Oh, counter. Hawkro's almost dead. Alright, crit 25. Okay, Alice, I'm going to need you to not kill here. To not kill. Perfect. Wish it was a little lower, but that's okay. If we crit, she would have died. And we didn't get a crit with Velzard either. So a little bit unfortunate right there that we didn't get the crit with Velzard. 115, though, is still an okay score. It could be a lot higher, could be a lot worse. But that's the strategy that you want to use for boss battle 2, 3, and EX. Now, EX is going to be really difficult because you just don't do a lot of damage to her, and you need dupes to get to that overkill point. So that's why I don't like showcasing it. But that's a strategy you can use for boss battle 2s and 3s. Need one of those debuffs on turn 5, 170 points on turn 6, so you could use all of those different buffs and nuke with Velzard. And now, for the first time, I'm going to show you a more quote-unquote free-to-play friendly team. So we'll be right back. Okay, so here is a team that was given to me by one of my mods in my Discord, Star Warrior. He has not pulled a single water meta unit. So this is the team that he has used, and I'm going to post his score that he sent me here. And you can see that it looks like he's been placed number 85. I'm not sure if this is updated to now, but 85 with no current water meta units, I would say is pretty damn good, all things considered. So, obviously this is still a kind of a whaley team. I've got 6 stars all over the place except for Yuki and Valentine, but you can still make this team work. I mean, your general banner, you're a 4-star. Your general banner, your general banner. Valentine is a very, very good orb changer. I know I told people not to summon on the win rerun for her. She'll be added to the general ticket pool, so, I mean, props off to that. We're running Cabby for the green boosts that we're going to use. I personally have not used this team yet, but I wanted to get a more free-to-play friendly option in the video for people that did not summon on the water banner but still wants to try and compete. And obviously by Star's picture, he's doing fine. No, he's not going to be like top 0.1%. He's not going to be top 10, but that's only for people who have whaled, who have the meta units. This will do just fine. This team, I think, will do just fine. It covers basic DPS, maybe not the whole debuffing scenario that my team uses, but you can still do good damage. So right now we are in boss battle 2, and we are here with Yuki, who 1 has type advantage, and 2 does what Alice does and changes that first hand of blues to greens, which is pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and actually let's just run it like this. Let's just run it like this. I don't know how hard Yuki's going to hit. I honestly don't know. 16, 24, 15. Okay, well, Windmill will go last next time. Magic, 6-star. Alright, I mean, that's decent damage. Now we have a Cabby online. What's the next hand look like? Whole bunch of blues and oranges. No greens whatsoever, so, you know, that's cool. Let's go ahead and bring in Soe as the DPS for... let's go Yuki. And let's go ahead and send these oranges. Work on his ult. Alright. So, okay, next turn. Where's my goddamn special blue converter? Alright, so let's use Cabby. Up our skill point limit. And then let's go ahead and send these blues. Hopefully she doesn't ult Valentine. That would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. Okay. And that's a lot of oranges right there. Okay, mill 'em, that's fine. 100% fine. We already have enough points for what we want to do, so now we just have to work on getting her low. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're not getting any weakness damage from attacking with Valentine or Millum, but it's okay for now. I'm going to get Valentine out of here, though. Let's go ahead and... yeah, let's go ahead and get Valentine out for Yuki. And then we're gonna send this ult. We're gonna pop Cabby again. And then we're gonna send the ult and the blues just for extra damage. I mean, they're not buffed, so it won't do that. Yeah, 4,300 is not the most damage in the world. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, we're on turn 6, though. So this is the kill turn, and we are not killing here. So I've lost track of my turns right there. Unfortunate. It is what it is. Alright, but we can still kill next turn. Okay, so that's good damage right there. Oh, sweet counter. Alright. Okay. So then let's use the ult boost with Millum. And then we'll bring in Rimuru for the attack boost. I don't know how hard Yuki's gonna hit. Will he kill her? He might kill her. I mean, let's try it anyway. Let's see how much this does. Ooh, close. And then Zoe will come in and clean up with 35-3. It's not bad. Not great, but not bad. What's our final score? 134-34? What's our max score right here? Like 180 something? And I'm out of tickets. And had we had that turn on turn 6, yeah, so we're like 50k shy, but I mean, that's not bad. You can do that for Boss Battle 3, you could do that for EX. Maybe EX you don't kill on turn 6, because you just won't have the damage output. But, I mean, that is a team that many people can use, and then you can use your own variation as well. But, I mean, that works. Top, 183 is, or 133 is competitive if you're not trying to be a sweaty tryhard. I'm okay with that. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you found this useful and entertaining. Let me know in the comments if you have scored higher because of this, what your rank is, what you're shooting for, what team you're using because you don't have the water meta units. Let me know, guys. But for now, take it easy, and I'll see you later.